Morning, everyone. Hope you're having a nice morning and welcome to today's webinar. Who do we have already on this? We've got a few clients. Hey guys, how are things? And I'm here joined with a couple of people from marketing, and also Jasmine and Jesse will be joining us. We need to make Jasmine and Jesse panel thing, or do we have to do anything?
They log on.
They log on, okay, because they seem to be in the audience, but I can't see them.
Here we go.
Okay. Here you go. Hey, Jasmine. Good. How you doing?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very exciting stuff. So we've got a couple of minutes to go. We've got an agenda, correct, Kira? If you don't mind, maybe putting this up to talk about what we'll be doing today. I know for a fact it's focused on the onboarding packs. What is a pack, and what is the difference between a pack and the clearly the various items in the pack? And these items, whether it's a merged document such as a contract or a video, a training video, or an e-form such as the tax form, personal details form, etc., or whether it's a code of conduct, a static PDF document that you want people to make sure they read it and they sign off on it, or at least they acknowledge that they've read it. These are the type of documents that we will go through, all of them, the difference between them, and how you can then build a pack by just adding these items into it. And we talk, in particular for people to understand the data architecture, that the pack is nothing but just a container. So if you delete the pack, you're not deleting the items. The item's still there. Every time you create an item, such as you've gone and grabbed the iframe of a video from somewhere, YouTube or wherever, and you created a video item in your content manager, this same video can be linked into multiple packs. And if you delete those packs, that item's not going anywhere. You have to go into the content manager and delete that item for the item to be deleted. Hey, Jess, how you doing?
Morning.
Awesome.
Good. How are you?
Awesome.
Good morning.
So a couple of minutes to go. I'll just getting us warmed up about the topic. We will be creating also an e-form from scratch for every item, whether it's a document, a merged document such as a job offer, contract, etc., or whether it's a training video or an e-form, etc. We will be building an item of that type, and then we will be then adding all these items into a pack. So doing things from scratch. So we'll get going in a couple of minutes.
Should we do the icebreaker?
Should we do the icebreaker, or should we wait for a couple of minutes? Up to you guys. Maybe give people the opportunity for everybody to be on. Sure. Kira is helping out from marketing because Eddie's going to be going on holidays to Europe on Saturday. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So Kira is going to be taking over for the next couple of webinars to help out. Yeah.
Awesome. Lucky Eddie. Perfect time for you to go.
Yeah. Summer season in Europe. Yeah. Very good. Okay. A couple more minutes to go. So maybe you can put up the icebreaker, but we will wait to give it a few minutes for everybody to have the opportunity to participate. Go for it, Kira, when you're ready. Here you go, guys. What is this? What is your preferred way of spending a free evening? Socializing, exploring, relaxing at home, learning something new. Okay.
I'm with everybody on that one. Relaxing at home.
I would definitely be out having a few drinks in some pub somewhere. No question about it. That's not an option.
We have introverts versus extroverts happening at the moment.
Is that the socializing? Is that my people?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
The introverts are taking the lead.
Oh, cool. So what do we have? Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. Let's go home. See what I mean? Okay, very good. 59 minutes past 10. One more minute to go. So what we will do, I'll start to share my screen now then, guys, and we'll get sort of ready to start to create a pack and get into it. For any of anybody who's just joined, the agenda is about today. The training is about the packs. What is a pack and what are the items within the pack? How to create a pack? How to manage your packs? And for every item type, such as a contract, a code of conduct, an e-form such as the super form, the tax form, etc. How do you get these items and how do you add them to a pack? So that's what we will be talking about today. And then also the automations. So half the time will be spent about the packs and half about the automations of those packs. So let me share my screen and get going. Perfect timing now. Thank you everyone, by the way, who's on this call. We really appreciate your time and we hope that it's going to be useful for you. And we, by any means, just jump on anytime with a question. And we've got, Jesse and Jasmine watching the queue, so to speak, the chat, and we'll make sure, stop me and make sure we address those questions. I really want to make sure we address every single question that comes through. All right, so share screen and would be the window. This window there. Yep. Okay. So you can see now the packs. Is that right?
Yeah.
What I'm sharing? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very good. Okay. So this is almost a brand new account, which is good. I did that on purpose. So I've got no packs whatsoever. These are the sample packs. So if you go into them, that happen to be the US one. I'll just go into this one here. Oh, what's going on? Sorry. I think because of the tool that we're using for the sharing, it's almost like took over. I couldn't click on anything. What's going on here? Okay, so these are the sample packs. So what we will do, we're going to duplicate one of them. If I can start with this one here and duplicate it. And now we've got a pack that's available for us. And that is as I said, these are the sample packs. So the default becomes my packs. When you create a brand new account, all you have is the samples and you can duplicate some of them or just create them from scratch. So I've duplicated something here, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to also create a pack from scratch. So I'm going to go create a pack and call it ongoing roles. So, and also a new hires, as opposed to change of conditions, for example, new hires ongoing. So as you can see at this stage, it's really empty. There's nothing in it. So if I want to add items to it, I click on the add items and it's going to bring me to the content manager. And this is really interesting to learn and to understand. The content manager, it's got the different types of content that is available here on the left-hand side. So grouped like that instead of being just a big zoo. Merged documents are the generic word of having, as it sort of implies, like the old, merge Word documents. It's a document that is going to be dynamic, that is going to be pre-populated, such as a job offer or a contract, because clearly we're in the HR world. But nevertheless, for whatever reason, you need that contract, you need that document to be generated dynamically on the fly. This is what you would create it here. How do you create a merge document? We'll do that in a second. We just keep going through the different types. The static documents, the difference between the two is in here you start with a Word document and you insert all the tags in it and make it all dynamic and stuff. In here, it would have to be a PDF. So, for example, a code of conduct is a generic document. It could be a training material that happened to be a PDF or whatever. Nevertheless, excuse me. Nevertheless, the difference is this is a static document. and we will create one in a moment. I'm going to skip the upload and download. I'll come back to it in a sec. The forms are the general e-forms. I'm sure everybody knows how the e-forms work. You can create your own e-forms using different fields, whether it's drop downs and compliance fields, etc. We will definitely create an e-form together from scratch. On top of that, we have standard system forms, what we call them, in particular the Australian Super Choice and the Australian TFN deck. So while I'm here, I'm going to insert those two. We will be, by the way, something new that we're doing. The team will be, from Monday, be adding more and more system forms. We've built the ability to make that a lot more easier to do. So we will be creating things like next of kin form or personal details form that maybe even have in it next of kin in it. A bank details form. We'll be doing one form that has got maybe all of the above in it, etc. We will be doing about 5-6 different system forms instead of you having to create all that from scratch. But we will be doing one from scratch as part of this training. So while I'm here, I'm going to add those to the pack. And I'm going to go back to see what else I want to do. I want to add the videos in here. I've got a welcome aboard video that happened to be in my library, and I've got a corporate training video. I'm going to add that as well. And we're going to go back now and create an item from scratch. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to make sure I've got that Word document. I know where it is that I'm going to need it, the contract that I'm going to need for the training. Give me 2 seconds. Very good.
And more.
Mm-hmm.
Should we just do the first poll while you're doing that?
Yeah, by any means. Kira is asking me if she can do the, excuse me, the first poll. By any means, if you would like to do that, go for it. And I'm just finding that contract I'm going to use. In the meantime, go for it, Kira.
Yeah. Just share it. Should be visible now.
Okay. So the question is, what is your preferred way of spending? No, that's the previous one. Sorry. Are you currently using onboarding packs and automations? So the first option for the answer is yes, we use the packs and automations. Yes, packs only, or we're not using the packs at all. If you guys can participate in this, it would be very, very much appreciated. Thank you in advance, guys. And we're ready.
It's surprising how many clients aren't using the automations.
Yeah.
If you're sending the emails manually, we'd love to help you get those set up. Save you a lot of time using those automations. And of course, it's included in the onboarding subscription as well. Yeah, wow, that's a surprising answer, isn't it, Anwar?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you guys for participating. We really appreciate your feedback. So thank you. We'll keep going then. So I'm back in here. I'm going to go to the content manager. I'm going to skip this. The content manager, you can go to it directly from the, I'll go do it. I was too quick. So we were in the pack templates, and this is the new pack template that we're working on, the new hires. I've added a few items to it. I've just got out of the pack template, and I'm going to the content manager, and in the merge document here, I'm going to create a brand new document, and I'm going to upload the Word document I'm going to be using for it. And I'm going to call it ongoing employment contract, or employment contract ongoing. Okay, employment contract ongoing.
And more.
Yeah.
We can't see your screen anymore.
Okay. I'm not sure why. Let me just share again. Okay. Is this better?
No. Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Not sure what happened. Sorry, guys. And then we're going to choose that we would like to, for that particular contract to be require signing. And we would like to also have that contract signed internally before it goes out to the candidate as well. And we're going to create it. So now we have, as you can see, we are in a merged document. We have a merged document, and now therefore we can add it to whatever pack we want. And that is one of the points I would like to acknowledge, guys, and explain. So what we will do to explain that point, I find it very, very empowering when you're working on your packs. I'll explain what I mean. So if I go and create another pack, just call it pack number 2. We're going to delete that in a sec. You can see what I mean. If I do that and I add that contract to it, the contract I've just created, you'll see what I mean while I'm doing that. I can go and delete that pack. I'm sorry, I don't need to go into it. I want to delete the pack. It's not going to delete the contract. The pack is literally just the container. It's a group. You're just basically saying these items are linked into that pack. So if I go back to the content manager, the item is still there. The employment contract this one here. So removing the pack, what I would like to explain. So if I go into the pack that we're working with, and I can still add that contract to it to prove my point, I guess. But the pack is just the container. The items inside the pack, they are unique items that are part of the content manager. That's the single source of truth for these items, and you decide to link them into different packs. And deleting the pack template or only removes the links, not removing the item. The item's still in there until you decide to remove it from here if you want to remove it, and you continue to be able to add it to different packs. So when you're organizing your packs, this is important for you to know that. And if you need to be even extra careful, do a test. Create, as I just did, create a quick pack, call it delete me as a matter of fact, just for testing, add a bunch of items in it and delete the pack and see what happens. So we've got now the pack. I'm just going to remove this so we know we've only got one item we're dealing with. It's easier. So with the merge document, we're going to now learn quickly how to do some updates into it. And to do that, the best way to do it is to go back to the recent packs and in here, and the recent packs, and start a new pack and choose the pack that we just created, and then pick yourself for testing. If you don't have a candidate, fictitious candidate for testing, the platform will create one for you. So as you can see, if I jump to the invite, it's me as the user going to be the target, the candidate, and you can confirm that to be safe, knowing that this is going to only go to you. It's not going to affect anybody. So if we go back here, we click on the contract. We did the contract editing last time. We're not going to get stuck too much into it, but this is definitely the best way to do it. This contract right now doesn't have any tags. As you can see in here, there's nothing to edit. I'll go to the doc template and I will then go in here. All the tags are available for me to start with. For example, if I want to grab the name and last name, this category here is the what you're seeing down there. It's a drop down. By default, it's the most used. We give you a few things that are handy, but you can then say, I want to go to the requisition category, and in here, I will see any requisition I might have, and I can grab the tags from there. I can go to the application forms. If any application form you might have, you can go into it and grab the tags from there. This is a brand new account, doesn't really have much to it, so I'll stick to the most used. If I grab the name from here, click on the tag, and if I just need to open my Word document, for a second, guys, I might need to start to change how the sharing is done so you guys can see the Word document, because at the moment you can't see it, right? Yeah. You can't see the Word document, correct? Okay, sorry, I'll just stop sharing and do the sharing for the whole entire screen.
Should we do the next poll now?
Maybe in a minute. Maybe in a minute if you don't mind. So I'll do entire screen. Here you go. Perfect. So now if I jump back to the Word document here, as you know, because I've clicked on the name tag, the tag for that particular custom field is now in the buffer. So I can just paste it in the Word document now. So if I go in here and somewhere it's going to be between the candidates and between, there's already a tag, but it's probably the wrong tag and it's not working. I'll just remove those both so we can do it together. And I'll paste here the first name. Oh, what did I paste? Okay. There, and Control V. Here's the name. And then I'll go surname, click on this. It's in the buffer again. Just move this a little bit there. So there's an overlap. And then just one space. And this is the surname tag. The position name, for example, same thing. I can just click here and the position name, that's the start date there. I'll just paste it here for now, just as an example. I don't want to get stuck too much on the contract editing, but that will give us now 3 tags that are there. The start date as well, I can, while I'm at it, maybe change the start date as well. I can grab the start date from here. I can decide on the format that I want. I'll just grab it. I would like this format here and paste it. So we've got a number of tags already in place now. I can just save the document. I can go back to the same place here, click on update and select it and upload it and save. And now we should have a few tags in here to edit because these are the tags that we inserted in the contract. The name came through, the last name came through. This is a funny name, as you can see, unique name for the account that I'm in. It's called Anwar Org Chart. I can edit it on the fly anyway, if I wanted to. So that's the name and refresh. And now we can see the name is coming through. Whoops. What I meant to do is click on full screen there. And okay, so that's the name and that's the last name here. The start date didn't come through because we didn't fill it out, and the position name probably didn't come through either. But nevertheless, that's the when you want to do editing to your contract, that is where you should be doing it from. If just fix the zooming here, perfect. So if we get out of this here, and I'll just move the contract to be maybe at the top. So now we have this contract that we've done some editing to it, and we saved it into the actual original contract. So in the content manager, the contract has now had those tags. So when you pick yourself for testing and do the editing and the continuous improvement on your contract and you click on save instead of save as, you're improving that contract. So now when that contract is part of any pack, the next time you go to onboard a new person using that pack, the improvements to the contracts will be there. So this is the best way to refine the contract, is to work on your own test candidate and refine it from that doc template tab. Static document, just need to make sure I've got a PDF that I can upload in here. Just give me 1 second, guys. I've got a code of conduct document here somewhere, just need to find it.
Maybe I can do the poll now then.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, for sure.
So just shared it. Should be up.
All right. I've got a blog I'm going to upload here instead of the code of conduct. That's fine. we'll do that in a sec. So what is the poll? Do you auto-generate contracts in the platform, or you create them manually outside the platform? Yes. So that is the point that we were discussing before, to have the tags in the merged document in your contract and automate it, so all the information to go automatically into that contract instead of doing it outside the platform, and then uploading it, which is, we still probably have about 5-10% of our clients that do that. And we, if you're doing that, that means you are paying for the packs, for the onboarding packs, and you're not taking advantage of that feature. I'm guaranteeing you, we will be here to help you at absolutely no cost for you to adopt that feature. That is a 100% promise. I will even personally be involved if you prefer. So if you can get in touch with the ladies, Jasmine and Jessie, I'm sorry guys, it's one of those mornings. They will organize a meeting for you, for the right people in your business and the right people on our end to help you with those contracts, and not just to build them for you, to empower you to know how to update them and improve on them going forward as well. And at absolutely no cost. If you're paying for the packs and you're not using that feature, it hurts me greatly. We want to make sure we rectify the situation, and I promise you we'll make it work for you. So thank you for the poll. That's a really interesting poll. Thank you, guys. Code of conduct. We've got a sample in here to use, but I wanted to create one from scratch. I will use, for example, here, it's a blog, it's a PDF, that's fine.
Oh, the screen is not
not shared. I'm sorry. Yes, I'll redo the whole thing. I'll start again. Let me just do the share. Okay, entire screen and share. Fantastic. So we'll start it again. We're going to create a brand new static document, and I'm going to pick this blog in here just because it's a PDF. I don't have any better thing to do, but I'm going to pretend it's a code of conduct. Code of conduct, version 02, just in case I've got another one. Do I want people to just acknowledge they signed it or to actually sign it? This is the difference here. It says, yes, require digital signing, or just a tick box to acknowledge that they've read it. It's up to you. We can just do digital signing. Does it require any internal signing before the pack goes out? No, not really. Not this one. So I'll say no. Oops. No, just send it and create. So this item now, Code of Conduct version 2, is part of your content manager. And so you can link it into any pack that you want. So if I go back here to my pack templates and find, I want to remove this pack. Cool. So if I go back into my pack template, I can now go add document and go to static documents. And this is the code of conduct, and edit that. But again, if I can just prove one more thing for you guys, repeat that thing that I said before. So if I do pack version 2, delete me. If I create another pack, I can link the same document into it too. So this document that we just created can be also linked into this pack. And if I delete this pack, it's not going to delete the document. That's really important for you guys to be comfortable with that. So when you're doing, when you're managing things, so if I can go back into this pack, the code of conduct should be here. And if I even go back to the content manager, the code of conduct on the static document should still be there. Deleting the pack is just deleting the linking. It's just a container, not the items inside it. They will not be deleted. The items are unique source of truth items that are part of that content manager, and you manage them from here. Update them, delete them, etc. And then you link them into the different packs. So this is really an important architecture. We need to go to the forms now quickly. I'm going to show you how you create your own form. I'm going to call this, for example, personal details. We will be doing a system form for personal details. If I go now to add items to it, I believe we have already here emergency contact, for example, field that I definitely need. Emergency contact number 1, for example, if I need to. It's mandatory, yes. But how about the personal details, name and last name and stuff? Don't we have a field for that? I genuinely forgot. Just one sec. I'll just add the bank details to this as well while we're at it. Bank details. I believe the bank details now they can enter multiple of them as well. But the reason I wanted to use those is because to show you that we built complex fields. So you can see the emergency contact comes ready with name, surname, email, mobile, all of that ready to go. You don't have to build it from scratch. Same with the bank details. It's an intelligent thing. It knows, for example, this is an Australian bank details. No, it knows what a BSB is, it knows how to validate it. All that stuff is all built in. So it's really easy to build those forms, not just having name, last name, and the basic stuff. So if I go to pick from library and enter, for example, in here name and surname, and they probably should be at the top, as you can imagine. Move the name to the top. I'll move the surname also to the top. Sorry. Cool. So name, surname, emergency contact. Just going to keep it simple like that for now. The other thing, and I'll make the form live, so because you can keep it in draft and then come back and edit it, etc. And when you're ready, you make it live. That's when you're able to add it to your packs, only when it's live. So now that it's live, I'll go back to my packs. My pack, sorry, is only one pack template that we're working with at the moment. And I click on go back to forms in the content manager, and the personal details is there, and insert it into my pack. And I'll decide wherever I want it to be presented in the form in terms of the order. Sorry, that drag and drop didn't work properly. I'm really bad at this. Okay, that's better. So I've decided I want it to be third on the list, or maybe second on the list. Where's the contract, by the way? Oh, I wanted the contract to be at the top. Here you go. And maybe personal details second, and then, the rest there. So this is how you create an e-form. A very powerful thing with the e-forms, I have to explain to you guys. If we go back to Content Manager and back to forms, and I want to create a new form called compliance documents. And in case, I know 90% of you know about this, guys, but just in case you haven't used it, let's say I want I'll choose the type to be a compliance document, and this particular document is going to be a proof of your blue card. And I'm going to add another item called also it's a compliance document, proof of your driving license. You might have collected this information during the recruitment process. You don't need it to be here, but just while I'm here, I wanted to make sure you can you're aware of this feature. If I go back to, for example, this as well, click on Edit, which is the blue card. I can go to the Reminders tab, and then I can set reminders. I'll say this is 30 days, and also notify the candidate/employee, and this is 15 days. Also notify, and just set up 2 reminders. Select users you want reminders. So I've only got 1 user in this account. So the candidates, the employee, and candidate/employee, and as well as this user will be notified 30 days and 15 days prior to the expiry date of this document. And you might be thinking here, what are you talking about? What expiry date, etc.? If I go into the preview to answer this point, this is what it looks like when the candidate or the employee receiving this form. And this is as I said, you might have had an e-form during the recruitment process. As a matter of fact, you might have collected this information when they were first applying. Our e-forms are, it's the same e-form technology. From the application form to any e-forms that you send throughout the recruitment process, or a pre-onboarding or junior onboarding, or even as an employee later on, post-onboarding. As a matter of fact, it's the same e-form technology, and they collect that data against the profile of that candidate or employee. And so what this is, they can scan this QR code, and that will connect the phone with the form, in a sense, so they can take a snap on their phone of the driving license and hit upload. It comes up in the form. All they have to do then, what's left mandatory, is the expiry date, as you can see, mandatory. So they cannot submit this form without providing a photo of the, in this case, the driving license, as well as the expiry date for the driving license there. Same with this item here for the blue card. They need to take a photo of the blue card and put an expiry date in here. The other items in here, document number, etc., they are mandatory at the moment. Non-mandatory at the moment. The expiry date is the only mandatory field as part of this field here. So that's one thing I wanted to let you know, guys. So now if I go back to my here and make this live, so then I go back to my pack, I can add that form now into my pack as well. Back to forms, compliance document should be somewhere there. Documents, I'm sorry, 2 documents, and it's sitting at the bottom by default. So the last type we want to cover, it's perfect. We're halfway through because we want to spend half the time on the automations. So the last type, if we go back to Content Manager, was the videos. What is a video? How does it work? We don't host a video at the moment. You would host them anywhere you want. There's multiple places, whether it's Vimeo. Is that what it's called? Vimeo? Yeah, Vimeo or YouTube or your own website, your own content manager, so to speak, that you want to host them at. But how do you create it? So if I go to YouTube from here, why doesn't it let me go? Because I'm not logged on or something? YouTube.com. Alrighty. Do I need to be logged on to Google and all that to go to YouTube these days? So it is. Can you send me, what am I doing here? Okay, sorry. I'll just go to your other browser then, guys. I'm not sure what's going on. You can still see my screen, right? All right. Maybe I need to be logged on. Doesn't matter. So I'm just going to anything here that's an ABC video, so which is cool. If I go to the share and I grab the embedded, click on embedded, the way with YouTube it works, as soon as you put the cursor here, it highlights it for you. So all you got to do is click on copy, and here's the embedded, which is it's an HTML tag, which is an iframe tag, as you can see, guys. There, maybe the screen's just not. I can't zoom on it for some reason, but you can see that it's an iframe. That's really what it is. So I'll quit this one here, go back to there, squashed a little bit. I was going to show you the two at the same time. Click on create new video. I'll put the video name, training for emergency exits, and the video embedded code, paste it there, and hopefully it's going to just work. So now if I go back to my pack, content manager, I can, oh, I'm sorry. What did I click on? Pack templates. I can go into the templates and go to the video section. Where is it? Emergency exits. That's a new video I've created and I've added it to my pack. How do you preview the video? I click on the view there. Here you go. It's working. So that's you can preview it as well from the content manager. Sorry, as soon as you create it, you can preview it. So nevertheless, that's all you have to do. Grab the iframe link, which is all video hosting things have. Whether it's Vimeo, it's a standard. It's not a YouTube thing. It's a standard across all browsers and etc. etc. So they call it the embedded link. So that's how you're able to create a video and add it to your pack. So you can see all the pack now. This is my pack. It's got a variety of things. It's got a contract, which is a merged document contract. It's got a personal details form as a proper e-form that I've created that works on mobiles. Very, very intelligent, with about 30 different custom field types, such as, drop down and multi-choice drop down and dates and compliance field and personal details fields and bank details field, all these very intelligent types that we created to make it very powerful and quick for you to create an e-form. And we've got standard e-forms, and there'll be more and more coming, such as the super choice. With the super choice, you click here to assign your your recommended or company fund. But even if you have if you work in a company with multiple entities, and each entity has got a different super fund, nominated fund, you're able to do multiple, and on a per pack basis from that library of multiple funds, you're saying this pack will be using this fund, this pack will be using this fund, which is really powerful. So when you're onboarding people, just a matter of choosing that pack template, it's just going to work. It's going to know which nominated fund I will be using for the super choice form. Very powerful, very cool. You set it once and you don't need to worry about it. So that's the concept of the pack template. What's powerful about it is, if I go back into my pack template, you're deciding what items in here, including with the super choice, which fund to be using. You're deciding on the design by going into here and saying, look, this is the default design. I want to customize it. I want to change the logo. I want to change the, what is that? Is that the option where the background? Yes, for the background color, you might want to use a logo. You might want to use a color, or you might want to use a background image. What's the first option? Use company logo. Yes, the company logo, which you've uploaded here. You might want to use it in the background color. We give you this option. I think we do it as tiles or something, or you can use a separate background image, which what we are doing in this example there, in here, which is really cool. I wish I've got some examples to show you, but you can do something really, really nice with it to, and as you know, most of you use the packs. It works really, really nicely on mobiles and all that good stuff. So if I go back into the same pack template that we've been working on and building, the design in here, you can dictate how you customize how it looks. This is an interesting feature we added just last week. If any of you guys have got, we started to add different languages to the onboarding packs. So you can say, this pack, I want it to be in French, and it would translate. At the moment, only French is added, but I'll explain that very quickly, but it's very, very powerful. Anything that it's now multilingual, meaning the e-forms, the question and the answers can be in any language that you want. It's all multilingual. We worked very, very hard the last 6 months to make that work. But when we say this is French or English, and we'll be adding Spanish, we'll be adding other languages here as we go. But all it means, the buttons, for example, the name of the tab, these things will be translated to French. But already, anything that you're creating, for example, you can have a contract in Korean or Chinese or French or Spanish or whatever you like. The questions in the e-form, they can be in any language that you want. When the candidate is answering questions in the e-forms, they can be in any language they want. That's already been done, and that's really very big deal. But this choice here is primarily the static stuff, the name of the tab, name of the buttons, that kind of stuff. So this is interesting in case you work in a multinationals and you have requirements to recruit outside of Australia in different languages. I'll keep going then. Invite, you can customize what that automated, the initial custom message in the email is for that particular pack template. And then finally the automations, and that brings us to the second part of what we wanted to do here. You can also customize who the stakeholders that you want to notify that this pack is either sent or completed, etc., which what we will spend 20 minutes explaining. But if at high level, if you can just for now at high level say these are the automations. For example, you want to notify the manager and the payroll team and the IT team that this pack has been completed, meaning Jason has completed their pack. That means they will be starting with us in 4 weeks' time. If we can just keep it like that until we drill into it in 2 minutes, I want to take us back to remind us what we've achieved. So we created a pack template. We decided which items will be in that pack template. We've decided how it's going to look, the design of it, in case you have multiple entities, you want different logos, etc. Then you've decided what the initial message in the email invitation, the email when the email goes out to the candidate, say, welcome aboard, click here to start to work on your pack. And even the logo in the email, we've done all of that, and the automations. So now when I'm onboarding people, when I'm onboarding Susan, and I go, we're going to use this pack to onboard Susan, that is it. Everything you've customized in that pack template, that's what we call a template, is going to be there, including the automations, in the branding, the items, everything in here in these tabs that you've customized will be copied for Susan and will be set in motion, such as the automations for Susan. That's really what's powerful about it. And the expiry date here, I would be very surprised if you're not using it, and you definitely should use it. I forgot to talk about it. And that will be also, all will be set in motion as well, because you're customizing it against a template. So when you're onboarding the next person with that template, everything will be copied, including this feature. And this feature is, if you want to say, when I'm onboarding people with this template, I want them to be aware that they only have 3 days to complete this pack. So they will be warned all the time and be aware that they have now 2 days left, they have 1 day left, they have 5 hours left, etc., to make sure I know for a fact, 100% fact, it will make people take it a lot more seriously. It will decrease the time it takes for people to complete their pack, and it reduces drop-off as well. It's a really powerful feature. So that's what I wanted to explain at high level before we go into the automations. What the pack template is. It's a very, very powerful thing, because you're customizing all different dimensions of it, not just which items. And then we will take a copy of it for Susan when you're onboarding Susan on the fly, and we create all these elements based on that template, and we're ready to go for Susan, all the personalization, everything. So now we're going to go back into the template that we've been creating and go into the automations aspect of it and understand what the automation is all about. The best way to do this, I believe, is to create a new automation. I'll explain what that means. But out of the box, we have a few important automations. For example, these are boxes here, what we call the stakeholders. A stakeholder, such as the manager, is there out of the box, because this is a dynamic thing. You don't need to tell me who the manager is. We know it because the person, for example, who submits the requisition is the manager. And if you're not even using requisitions, on the design, if you remember when you have a job, do I have a job in here? I don't have a job. If I create a job very quickly here, okay. Oops, sorry, I need to select this as well. All right, so in the job, if you're not using a requisition, because if you are, as I said, it's a no-brainer, the person that submits the requisition is the manager. But even here in the job, you can, if there was a requisition, it can be selected, but you can even override it. And therefore, if there is no requisition, you can still select who the manager is, yeah? So once that is done, if I go back now to my packs, pack template, and that template we've been working on, back to automations, the manager, we already know who that manager is, which is really powerful. All you've got to do is worry about, okay, what do I want to let the manager know or tell the manager or remind the manager of? So let's build something. This is an internal name. Keep it whatever it is, I don't care. And so a trigger action when? Do we want to communicate with the manager when the pack is completed, or when even the pack is sent prior to the completion? let's say when the pack is sent, and then we will do one for the completion. What will happen? Do you want an SMS or an email to go out to the manager? I want an email, for example. Is there any delay, or you want to send it straight away when the pack is sent? As soon as you send the pack, I want to let it know. On this occasion, let's just say, to prove how the delay works, I want it to be 1 day after the pack is sent, which doesn't, to be honest, make any sense. You wouldn't do it that way. But I'm just going to do that now. And when the pack sent date. So 1 day after the pack is sent. Sorry, I need to select the day. After 1 day after the pack is sent, and I want to create the message in here. We take the liberty of putting in the subject there for you those tags. So it would be, Anwar Khalil is starting on the date on this date for the position of blah. So there's four tags in here. I think it's not a bad thing. I can say hi, the manager's name, and that will be a recipient name. Got something called recipient name here. Can you guys see it? Am I missing something? Recipient first name. Cool. So hi, John, whoever that manager is. It's all dynamic. I'll just put in here. Jason Smith, he was, by the way, the captain of the Queensland team last night, is starting on this date for the position of blah. That's already there. And if I go here quickly to tags, I'm not going to go through all of them. Every single piece of information you've collected from the requisition form to the information that the candidate entered throughout the recruitment process, to the offer approval, to the onboarding, all of them are available here. You can grab those fields and add them here in terms of the information you want to communicate to this particular stakeholder. It's very, very powerful. And so we're just going to leave it at that for now, just considering the time constraints that we have. We're going to save it. So that's a piece of automation that got created. We're going to create another automation to the manager. We do new automation to the manager. And this is going to be an SMS. No, I don't want to do this. I want to create a new automation here, sorry, because I wanted to trigger it based on a different trigger. I want it to be when the pack is completed. And I want it to be an SMS to the manager, and I want it to be, say, 7 days before the start date. I want the manager to call the candidate and make sure they're okay and ready to start, and instead of being deserted for, let's say, 3-4 weeks of the notice period. So I go next, type the message in here. I'm going to say hi, same thing, recipient name. I think still in the buffer. No, I need this one though. I'll paste the email as well. I'll grab the recipient name again. Recipient first name. Hi, John. So that's the oh, what happened? Sorry. Did I click on it properly? Recipient last name, recipient first name. Sorry, guys. I had the cursor in the wrong place. That's what happened. Sorry. Don't know what's going on. One more time. Okay. Recipient last name. There is a little glitch going on my computer. Recipient first name. No, something is not right there. But you get the point. That would be, believe me, this works. You can try it. Something's happening probably with my browser right now. So you would have the cursor in here, click on the recipient first name. It will put the tag in here, and you can say to them, then these tags will basically say, I've pasted these tags twice. I'm just going to remove this. Candidate name, last name, starting on that date for the position of blah. You might want to consider calling them and make sure they're okay and they're still okay to start in our business. You might want to give them the mobile number for the candidate to make it super convenient for them to call, because it's going to be on their phone anyway in an SMS. So they should just be able to click on that number and that would be the tag applicant email. There should be applicant mobile here somewhere. See, it just worked for the applicant mobile, but it wouldn't work for the recipient first name. I have no idea what that was. It's just a little silly glitch. So this is the mobile. So what you can say in here, for your convenience, please find their mobile number here. That's it. That's the mobile number. Thank you. Oops. Just finish the message. Signature. Thank you. HR team. Okay. And save it. Oops. Select a mobile number that's going to be sent. Because against my user in the platform, I don't have a mobile number, so I'll just do it on the fly here. 0410 51221. Or you can put a generic number that you use in the business or whatever it is. It's just the message coming from the mobile number that the message will be coming from. So now we have two separate automations against that particular stakeholder, which happened to be the manager. One is an email and one is an SMS with different conditions. It shows you here what the conditions are, etc. And you can click on this message to edit it, whether it's the email or the message. Going forward for continuous improvements. So now it tells you we have two automations set against that stakeholder. You can build a brand new stakeholder. I'm going to build one here for payroll, for example. Create from scratch. I'm going to call it payroll full pack zip file, full pack download. Okay, hit enter. A new stakeholder got created. Who are the members? I can go in here. You should have something payroll at or Jesse or whatever, multiple people anyway. So I'll create something on the fly. I don't have it. Let's say payroll at Martian Logic in our case. And oh, that was the name. Sorry. So that's payroll and generic. And that's the email. I don't need the word generic. And create. So we created this on the fly, and it's linked already here. I can also add my own user in here just to show you that you can have multiple people on it, as many as you like. So we have a new group, and it's got the members in there. Sorry, just to make sure. Yep. It's not showing me there's two members in here, maybe because I need to refresh that thing. No, it's funny. It should be, oh, I'm sorry. It's showing me the members here under the members. What am I doing? Alrighty. So that's good. We've got members against that group. Now we need to add the automation quickly. We're going to click on automation. We're going to say it's triggered when the pack is completed. What will happen? An email. And no delay. I'm not going to use the delay thing. And I'm going to go next, and in the message I'm going to, it's in the subject already, I'm going to say hi recipient name. That would be payroll or the real person. How about if it works this time? Recipient first name. Oh my goodness, see, it works this time. Alrighty.
Anwar, we do have a couple of questions that have popped up in the chat. So first of all, Annalise would like to know what happens if the person changes their start date from what is sent out in the original contract? Will this then automatically still send an automation to the hiring manager 1 week prior to the new start date?
Give me 2 seconds. It's a very, very good question. I don't even know if I know the answer to it.
Cool.
At least today, I'm really struggling a little bit, but very good question. Let me just finish this.
Cool.
I'm almost done. All I want to say now is provide a link for the payroll guys to download the pack. You've got 2 options in here. It's called panel URL. I don't know what panel URL is. No, we want to pack the download thing. Maybe it's under here. Give me 1 sec, guys, and I'll get back into the answer. Okay. No, you can. What am I missing?
I could see open pack. There was open pack URL.
I can't. Where is that?
Under up a little bit more. Scroll up to open pack.
Right. Open pack URL. I don't even know what that is. Open pack URL. Why is it open pack? I thought it's called download. Oh, here they are.
Oh, there we go.
Point. I don't even know what open pack is, so I don't know what it does. It maybe does that too, but nevertheless, this is the one I wanted. There's two options: 1 day expiry or 5 days expiry. Because it's sensitive information, we never make that URL forever be valid. So I'll grab the 1 day, and here it is. So I can say, please click on the link below to download the full pack. Download. What am I doing? Full pack. And that's it. HR team. So I'll save it. So now we have okay, just gonna refresh this page because I zoomed in and out. I don't know what happened. Alrighty, I'll close this. So now we've got one automation, as you can see, set up against this group, and these are the members of that group. So that's how you create even your own group, as opposed to customizing further the system groups or the out-of-the-box groups that we create for you, which is about 4 or 6 of them. Okay, before we address let's address that question. The question was, if you change the start date, can you give me a scenario when you change the start date, at which point, meaning after the pack is sent, you change the start date?
Yes. So I guess it's more of a contract variation.
Oh.
So for example, you sent out the contract. Yeah. And then what will happen with that automation that was set up under the original pack if the start date changes in the interim?
I'm not sure if I still understand it. When you say contract variations, not onboarding new hires, which is a different topic to what we're discussing today. This pack right now, pack that we're working with and the contract and everything we created is for the purpose of hiring new people in the business, and happen to be, as a sample, we said ongoing roles such as permanent full-time, permanent contract. Permanent part-time. So I'm genuinely asking, what is a scenario here? So we have a start date that we finalized during the offer approval with the candidate. It's mid 15th of July. We sent the pack, and when do we change the start date? I want to understand what the scenario is before I can answer this.
Yeah, so Annalise has just run back in the chat. Thank you, Annalise. So really it's 2 questions. If they want to vary the start date that they already have in the contract, and they want to accept the role but signing up with a new start date, would you need to then send out a brand new pack? And then what would happen with the automations?
The automations will always work based on the start date, because you're editing the right start date. Automations will always, once that new pack is sent, it will pick up that start date. You need to, as long as you're working with the right start date. The automation will pick up that new start date. So I'm not seeing an issue there, but by any means, get in touch if you feel that behavior is not there. But I'm definitely not perceiving any issue there. So if you send the pack, you've got a contract and that start date is in it, if you wish to make that formal and you cancel that pack and edit the contract and send the pack again, that means the automation will be then based on that new start date. Will kick off accordingly.
Perfect. So you just send out a new pack.
Just resend the pack with the new start date, and everything will be business as usual. If you feel I'm missing something, by any means get in touch. It would be a feature, something we need to improve on. So forgive me if I'm not telling you the right thing here. We will look into it. But from what I know, I don't perceive any issues.
Awesome. And Annalise has just asked, can you vary an existing pack once it's been approved? So for example,
the mechanism to do it. I mean, this happens all the time. I know it's doable. Forgive me if I'm not going to be able to show it to you right now. So if we've got this pack now, it's sitting in draft, so that's not the right status. But nevertheless, you can, how do you do it? When it's sent for approval, the approver, and maybe I'm barking at the wrong tree here, but the approver will decline the signing and stuff, and it becomes now still editable. You can then make changes, send it for approval again. You know, when you're sending that contract for approval, for example, if the approver declines it because they feel the start date is wrong or the salary is wrong or something's not right with the contract, they can just decline whatever the thing is instead of approve it. And then it becomes editable. You can make the changes, send it back again. Is that the point, or is it slightly different?
Does that answer your question, Annalise? So Annalise is asking once it's been fully approved by the approver.
Yeah.
So after the fact.
There is definitely a way not to lose everything in that pack, to leverage what you've got still and make the changes to it. I genuinely can't remember how you do that from. 100% no, it's the case though. If you can get in touch, but that means it will have to be sent again for approval, clearly, because you don't want to move the goalpost. That means we're compromising the integrity of the workflow, yeah? If there's approval, you can't just have someone to approve something, go and make changes and then send it. What's the point of that approval? Yeah, the integrity of the approval would be compromised. So there's a way to do it. I just can't remember right now how to show you that. If you can get in touch afterwards, all the questions you've asked are things that people go through. Over the years, we've made sure that is the case. I just can't right now wrap my head around how to demo that for you live. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Perfect. And I know that we're just running over, but Nancy would like to know, once a pack has been accepted, can you send a new contract? And I guess that also leads back into the variations that we're touching on. So once
the pack is being accepted, what does that mean, accepted?
Accepted. So
because we don't, use that word. So I'm wondering, it could mean multiple things. First of all, is that the internal thing, or is it sent to the candidate? Has the candidate completed it? If what you're saying is, can I send multiple packs? I'll send a pack first that has got some kind of job offer, a very just simple half a page to just say, look, this is the terms. Can you please sign this so we can send you the real contract? Then absolutely, you can send multiple packs for the purpose of that one single hiring of that person event. We're hiring that person. We want to send multiple packs. The first pack has got just a half a page, capturing the terms of the employment, and they need to sign that first to make sure they are serious before you send the real contract, as well as other forms and stuff. You can do that. You can even, after everything's completed, say, oh, look, because it's a 4-week notice, we're going to send you some training materials to keep you sort of busy, in a sense. You can do that too. For whatever reason, you can send multiple packs. If that's the question. I'm not sure if that was what the question was.
Awesome. Does that answer your question, Nancy? Okay, so Nancy said, so example, the pack's been sent to the candidate has signed and submitted all the required information, but then she would like to send a new offer.
Yeah, so the pack is completed, we call that event, and I'm not being, just to make sure we're all on the same page, I'm just making sure. So when the pack is completed, that's sort of the word we use in here. As you rightly said, all the items have been submitted, therefore. You can send another pack. That pack can have just one, what you're saying, the offer, meaning just a merge document in it, or multiple items. It really just super flexible how you want to design the onboarding process. Is it a single pack? Is it multiple pack series in a sense? Absolutely. And you can infuse that as part of the recruitment process. So if I go back to that job that I've created and I go into any of the test candidates, if you're an admin person, you'll be able to click on that wheel in here to customize the stages. In here, instead of having just one stage called start the onboarding like this here, which will then you pick that one pack and send it, you can have multiple of those, sort of onboarding dash phase 1 in bracket the job offer, onboarding dash pack 2, the blah. You can do multiple stages to automate it so everybody knows exactly what they need to do. It's just a matter of moving to these stages and then get the right pack and send it. Or simply just go back into the candidate, the the packs tab in here and send it back from there. But it would be good if you could just to keep everybody on the same page to design it in your work, in your recruitment process as the 3 stages that you need for the onboarding. Onboarding 1, onboarding 2, onboarding 3 kind of stuff. So everybody's on the same page as opposed to, oh, I have to remember to come here and do it from there. So make that your guidance about what are the stages in my recruitment process. As you know, when you click on the onboarding, it's just a matter of picking the pack and send it. So that automates the process for you. So just in case anybody in the audience don't know what that means. So when I create a stage, there's a type called onboarding. Once you've done that, you move someone to that stage. It's part of the automations. It says, okay, which pack do you want to send? Just a matter of selecting the pack and send it.
Beautiful. So Annalise is saying, for example, you wanted to counter offer the candidate, so they've had an offer from their employer. You want to send them a contract variation. I know we've touched on contract variations in previous webinars, and we likely will have another one coming up. So for that example, would they send through a separate pack for a contract variation?
Yeah, I think now I know what she meant by what you meant with the contract variation. Sorry, we use internally here, we use the word contract variation when it's pertaining to an existing employee, meaning a change of employment conditions, a pay rise, etc. Yeah, I know what you mean now. Just a matter of a different contract that you want to send. You just send a new pack with just that contract in it, if the old pack, or send the whole pack. You can expire the old pack and redo the same pack and just change the contract, because everything else should be the same anyway. Re-edit the contract with a new pay and send it, and expire the old pack. So when they click on that link, the old one's just gone by just going in here and click on expiring the pack. You can remove it, it expires that link. So if they go back to it, it's not going to work, and you send a new one. And you let them know anyway, send them an SMS, email, or whatever. You would be, before you send it, you would be talking to them, right? So you send, listen, I'm going to expire the old pack, forget about it, and they send you the new pack, which will have the contract, which will have the variations that we discussed. We're going to give you 10K more.
Awesome. And I'm aware that we've gone over, but we do have 2 really good questions. It'd be great to quickly touch on these. Jocelyn would like to know the maximum expiry dates for the download of documents. There were 2 different.
We only have 1 and 5 days now to have the link, but it is very important stuff. Someone brought it up before. I don't know if we created there's a workaround to make it longer, but as you know, it is a security risk, and we try to minimize it. If you do have real requirements, can you get in touch? I'm almost certain there's a work around it.
Awesome. And lastly, Robert has asked, they've set up milestones in their recruitment process where they progress a candidate to a certain stage, and it triggers the automation to send a pack. It does not send the pack automatically. We still have to click on send. Is it possible to have the pack auto-sent?
Very, very good point. Very good point. Just quickly, what I want to mention is one thing, but that is the bulk sending. It's sort of what the question reminded me of this. You can send same pack to, for example, all the employees. You've decided to have a new code of conduct, and you've got a new security-based kind of training on phishing, how to handle links and stuff in your emails and stuff. You create those bunch of items, PDF, form, videos, etc., and you want to send that pack to all the employees, for example. You can do that. There's bulk sending. It's a very, very powerful feature. It's a matter of creating a list, add all the people to it, and when you come here, just choose that list and choose the pack and send it. And we have the tools for you to manage all the people that were part of that group, and how many people completed it and how many people opened the thing. It's really powerful. To go back to the question, though, more directly, if you go to the stages, so to do that, yes, in your onboarding, I'm going to create a brand new onboarding stage so we build it from scratch together. From scratch, I'm going to call it send specific onboarding pack. This is just, you would not call it like that, but just because, to get my point across. There's something called here a category, a milestone. called Start Onboarding or something like that. Submit to onboarding, perfect. And so I'll go next. In here, when I save it, there's an option called link and automation, and I'm sure you probably are doing that, and there's something beyond that, so forgive me if I'm insulting your intelligence, but bear with me for a second, see if I can find the answer. So then what I'll do, I'll say, look, I want to invoke an automation here, and the automation type is going to be to create a pack, and maybe that answers your point. We only create the pack, we don't send it, but we'll see. So then I can choose which pack I want. So I'm going to do the one that we created, and I'm going to say, yes, I want that automation. And if I link another pack, maybe I should show, you know what, we'll just leave one now, and then I'll do it again with multiple. So once I've done that, if I now move this person to this stage that we just created, it's going to open that pack automatically. But if what you mean it's not sending it, I see what you mean. All you've got to do now is just go send and send it. We can't at this point because the contract needs to be edited, and that's partly why we don't send it. But nevertheless, we can really do it, which is why I talked about the bulk sending. So with the bulk sending, if for example, you only have a PDF, a static document as part of your pack, and a video, which don't require any merging of information, clearly we're going to just send them. There's nothing to do. It's all static stuff. We're just going to send them to those 5,000 people you've nominated in your list, right? If, on the other hand, you have a contract like this, which is exactly what we've encountered here, and some of the information doesn't flow through because they haven't been collected for some reason. Yeah. I don't know, the address, maybe you've got a residential address, which is what you need for most contracts, and that candidate, you forgot in the application form to have the residential address, it's never been collected. Well, we're not going to send it. So in the bulk send, any candidate that in this example that doesn't have a residential address, we will not send the pack. The ones that have it, we will personalize everything and send in the pack. Send, don't send. And we show you, look, out of the 1,000 you wanted to send this pack to, there's 50 that didn't have some information and they remain in the draft. You need to edit them manually and send them, but 950 already been sent. That's all there. Similar thing here. We're trying to do a similar thing. You can see the similarity between the bulk and this. We cannot send it because it requires editing. To your point, though, even at the moment, even if that was all there ready to go, we don't send it straight away. We're happy to do it because we clearly can do it with the bulk. We can do it here. We just didn't feel it's a big deal to just for you to go start sending and send and make sure it's all good. But if you feel strongly that's a feature that would help you because you do maybe a lot of volume and you want to do it like that, we're more than happy to do it. There isn't any R&D risk or anything. We've already done that work for the bulk. We can reuse it here. Is this the point that you bring it up, or am I barking at the wrong tree?
Yeah, perfect. Robert said that's the case. It's high volume and it's just static documents, so nothing needs to be edited before.
Can I encourage you then to consider the bulk sending? I don't know if that's going to work for you, if this is how it would work, because you might want it to be part of the workflow, etc. But can you please take a look at the bulk sending? If you need a hand to understand how it works and stuff, get in touch. It might be that's what you're looking for, as opposed to the normal recruitment process where it's done one-on-one.
Awesome. Robert said, yeah, they've done the bulk sending.
Okay.
But yeah, let's take this offline, Robert.
Awesome. Thank you for that feedback. I acknowledge your point. There's something we could do here. Cool.
Awesome.
Do we have a last poll? We really appreciate you if you can participate in it. Just feedback on this webinar. As you know, in the first 15 minutes, I was like a deer in the headlights, so probably I'm going to get very bad rating. But nevertheless, I appreciate your time, guys, and you're putting up with me. I seem to did okay after about half an hour. But yeah, look, your feedback is really important for us. Be brutal about it, how you felt about the features that we showed you today. It's not about the presenter, it's more about the features, really, because I know your rating would be terrible if it was about the presenter, but it's about the product whether you would recommend it to a colleague or not, because we believe that's the bottom line. Would you recommend that product is the most brutal answer to get the real sentiment of that person towards that product. So your brutal answer would be very, very much appreciated. And it's a poll, as you know, so it's a proper poll technology. We won't know who said what. You don't need to feel, obliged to be nice to us or anything like that. It's just literally all we know is 20 people said this and 10 people said that. It's proper poll technology.
Also, the link to the next webinar is also there.
Okay. There's a link to the next webinar in case you didn't know about it and you would like to subscribe to it as well. That would be great. Yes, if everybody can participate in that last survey, that would be really, really great, guys. Thank you. And again, the guys who said, rated it as 3, for example, you're absolutely welcome. If you felt there's some features that you're not sure about, or the demo didn't shed some light on it properly, my performance wasn't great, and maybe you want to give it another try and learn about it, please reach out. I would love to do one-on-one with you and get your real feedback and why you felt, maybe it's not, I don't love it at this stage. You're welcome to reach out if you feel perhaps it's a matter of wasn't demonstrated properly, or even share your feedback. We're happy to build those features for you. But we really appreciate your brutal answer, clearly, whatever that is. Very good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the audience. Without you, there's no webinar. So that's the bottom line. We really appreciate your time. Everybody's busy. We're not the only software you use and the only thing that you have to worry about. And thank you to the marketing team for their support, and the awesome account managers as well in Jesse and Jasmine. We'll leave it at that. And if you feel you still have any questions, I'm always available. I would love to hear from you guys. Anwar@martianlogic.com, or maybe reach out to support, either, whatever works, or to the account managers, and we can organize a meeting with you specifically about your particular concern or ideas. Thanks.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Have a wonderful afternoon. See you next time.
Bye.